All right, Harry, I know that we've discussed this many times over our walk, and it's one of your favorite things that you brought up to me because it really encouraged me, especially when I was working. But the question for this week is, why do Christians make more money on average than a non-Christian?
Well, if they're a Christian, then obviously they're going to love everybody. That's the nature of a Christian. That's what God told us, but that's also how we behave, how we act. We love the boss, love our co-workers, we're helpful, we're kind, we're thoughtful, we want the best for everybody. That's just who we are. So we're reaching out, we're friendly, we look at every opportunity to be a blessing to our customers likewise. And we have an attitude of being constructive. We come to work 10 minutes early. We're eager to get to work. If you are a few minutes late sometime, people aren't going to notice because you've been early for work for the last 2 weeks. So the whole nature of it is being generous with our time. And at break time, if you have a 15-minute break, you take 12 minutes instead of 15. You just be sensitive to that. As far as gossip goes, you don't do any of that because that's not appropriate. You don't steal time, you don't steal supplies, you don't steal tools, so you're reliable and quality.
Wow. Isn't that the truth of it all, right? Like, even I noticed when I've worked in a worldly aspect before becoming a Christian, I was like, that 15-minute break, I always tried to turn it into 18 minutes. And then I wondered why I never got a promotion, right? But as I was a Christian, I remember I got the job as being a Christian, and I was doing these things that you were teaching me. And next thing you know, it's not only that, they started on my first week asking me if I wanted to work overtime.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, you're reliable, you're a good person, and automatically it's going to lend well. There's always a trick though. They really appreciate you being honest, but then sometimes the boss wants you to do something that's devious, and then that's where you're going to lock horns, because they're going to ask you to fudge something or to do something or to cheat on something, and then you refuse that also. So there is a risk on that side of it, but but overall, you're a reliable person, and your word is good, and your attitude is good. And how many people do they have at work that are like that? They're pretty scarce. They're going to hang on to you for dear life because they need people like you that work hard and are enthused about your job.
Awesome. And that makes a lot of sense when we really think about it. But I have a second follow-up question to go with that. Why do Christians save more money than the average person?
Well, first of all, there's an awful lot of things that they don't need. Real simply, there's always that forbidden list of drugs and alcohol and tobacco and don't forget the lottery tickets. There's a lot of money. Every time I go to a variety store, I gotta wait for 2 or 3 people to get lucky. All those things, those are just some of the first things. But then if we live a modest lifestyle, we live in a modest home, something that's simple and affordable. Something, the square footage doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be new. All those things.
You're not living a luxurious lifestyle as well.
No, and you don't have any, your cars likewise, you don't need the luxury model. For your clothes, you just need simple clothes. You don't need all the name brand clothes. If a person living a modest lifestyle, for food likewise, pop and chips, those are not good for your health, and our bodies belong to the Lord, so we take good care of them, and simple food and simple this and simple that, and it's amazing how much money you don't have to spend. If you go to the mall, there's 3/4 of the stores you don't even have to go to. It's just amazing how much less money a person has to spend.
And one thing that I've noticed all in it is that you're not finding your peace and joy in materialistic, objective things anymore. You're finding your peace and joy in the Creator, and worshiping God and living a holy, blameless life.
And also things like the credit card that a lot of people are struggling with. You don't use a credit card for credit, so that's not an issue. So you don't have any of that. You shouldn't have a true Christian. I don't believe should have any personal debt. You should buy a car that you can afford to pay for. You should have a credit card that's only used for accumulating your bills, so you can pay it once a month. and a house, rent a house to start with, and if you do have a small mortgage for a while, that's okay, but you're not living to pay interest. And there's no risk that way. So if you don't have a mortgage and a car loan and a credit card that's overdue, you live a simple, modest life, and all those things don't come and take up all your money. And
then we're able to do things like the Bible teaches us to give to the poor, and not be sitting there like you're like, should I do it or should I not do it? You're living freely and being able to do these things.
And you have lots of money and money left over to do all the good things you should be doing. It's stunning how quickly. And the other aspect that I know, even our own family, none of my daughter-in-laws work out. They're all single income families. It's not an issue. Making a living is no real hardship. It doesn't have to be that way, but one income families, if you're careful and careful with your money and work hard, it's amazing how if you live the Christian life, both ends, income and expense, it's stunning how that works.
Awesome. And thank you for that, because that's something that truly helped me as I was growing in my walk with God that you've expressed to me. So we thank everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.